Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. In this series, you'll learn about Hibernate Cache. Code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
So based on the discussion from last day, you can write that this cache, we know cache memory, right? Cache memory. What is the purpose of using cache memory? The purpose of cache memory is nothing but why we use this cache memory. So if I have that cache memory, then it will frequently retrieving data from database. If I have the cache memory, then I don't have to frequently retrieving data from the database, right? So the thing is that why I need this cache memory. If I have cache memory, then I don't have. If the requirement is frequently retrieving data from database, then that requirement we can solve with the help of cache memory. If the requirement is frequently retrieving data from the database, then that is resolved with the help of this cache memory that we can implement in Hibernate. Fine. So if I am going to implement using Hibernate, then what is the advantage? As we talked last day, it will reduce number of database hit, reduce number of DB hit. Fine. And second advantage, we can say like it will increase performance. Increase. This is increase performance, right? Okay. So in Hibernate, we talked about three types of cache. First is three type used a lot. Three type. What are the three types? Number one is first level cache. First level cache. Then number two, second level cache. And number three is query cache. Fine. So let's spend some time on, we talked about last day's first level cache is nothing but your session object. Using that session object, we implement first level cache. So using session object, we implement first level, right? Okay. Now another thing is that this first level cache we talked about that it's by default enabled. It is by default enabled. Okay, fine. So another thing that we have not talked about last day, that is this first level cache is used on at a time only for one user. Okay, so it is used only for only one user. Okay, so when I say only for one user, that means when I say that only for one user, that means that I want to say that one user session. One user session. Already we know, right? If I have a session factory, then I can get multiple session. So let's see, under one session factory, I have created 10 session. So for each session, one first level cache will work. So if I have 10 session, then 10 first level cache will work. Right, so if we say that it is used for only one user, that means one user session. So from session factory, if I created 10 session object, then 10 first level cache will work. Fine. Okay. and it has another name. How it will work, I'm coming one by one. I'm implementing one by one. Let me give it spend some time here. Number 4, we can say it is also another name called primary cache. We talked about last, right? Primary cache. Fine. Right. Any other things? Okay. No, I'm saying that that the session object, when I write session object, in the sense I have created session, right? Session equal to, I'm not writing that in a full object, session factory dot open session, SESSION. This is session object, correct? Okay. So if this is a session object, Control C. Now we're starting the session, then you have to close the session. Session dot close. Done. So this is for one session that you have created from the session factory. Similarly, Control C, I can create another session. Control V. Similarly, I can get another session. 3 session I can get from the session factory. Right. So this is my first session. This is the second session, and this is the third session. Fine. So this is session. Assume the second session is session 1. If you're starting, you should close it. Say next session is session 2. If you're starting, then you should close it. Right? Okay. So we have 3 sessions. So 3 session means I have 3 first level cache. So here you have implemented one first level cache FLC, Control C. This is another one FLC. This is another one FLC, first level cache. So 3 first level caches there you have created in this line number, right? Okay. Now when you're going to close it, right? So when you close the session, that means this first level cache that I have created, this line, that is lost. This is session, it's a cache. Here I'm going to store some value. When I'm going to close it, that first level class that you have created, so I can say here first level cache created, Control C. So here first level cache lost, right? So here also created. I'm coming into the actual point step by step. This is Control C, first level cache lost, first level cache created, first level cache lost, right? So this is how it is working. So I can write here number 5, when we close the session, then first level cache lost. Fine. Okay. So when you close the session, then first level cache lost, right? Okay. Now we have another one method, or we can use another one method called session dot clear. That is also in use. Session dot clear is another method we generally use. Session dot clear. Session dot clear. So what does it mean by session dot clear? The another method, Control P. We use this session dot clear method. So if I am using session dot clear, that means you're permanently clear the session, whatever inside the session object, right? So number 6, I can say that session dot clear will permanently clear FLC, permanently clear FLC, first level cache, right? Okay. Now we have to talk about this is the first level cache concept. Then to understand first level cache, let's take one example. Let's take an examples to understand a first level cache. See, because we have to implement the how part for all these three types of cache. So let's take one example to understand first level cache. Okay. So let's understand one example. To understand first level cache, FLC, first level cache. So just see one example first. Okay. Okay. So we'll take an example. So you know that doctor's app. Let's take assume doctor's app. What you'll do in the doctor's app, that all the doctors log in the application, and when they are going to log in the application, one session is created for them, and they'll get the patient details from the database or from the queue, and they prescribed based on the patient details and symptoms that is provided. So this is how this doctor's app works. Sometimes the doctors can interact with the patient also online. So let's take that examples of doctor app. It's used in Bangalore a lot. Now assume assume the first doctor came, doctor 1. Okay, he just log into that app. Okay, so when he is going to log into the app, so what will happen? One session is created for him, correct? Okay, so session is equal to sf dot open session, right? So first session created the user, and when the session created using this session, this doctor is interacting with the database, correct? Okay, now what he is doing, he is going to get some details from the database or some queue. If or it is also possible that patient details is available inside the messaging queue. That is also possible, database or JMS queue, JMS API also can get the details. So doctor got the details. Doctor got the details from here. Yeah. Okay. Now when the doctor how he is going to get the details, he will use some get method, right? How? Session.get. We'll use get method. See, I'm just writing all the things just to understand the first level cache. Not only understand first level cache, but also distinguish first level cache with second level cache and query level cache. So complete things I want to make it clear. That's why I'm creating like this using diagram. Is dot get and is dot get. What I am writing here is that doctor have entered in the app, and he is going to get the patient details from the database or some queue. Fine. And first time he called is.get, so one patient details he got. Fine. So when he got one patient details first time, so what will happen? One SQL will be generated from database. Assume it they are using database. Assume using database. So one SQL will be generated, and based on that SQL, doctor will get the details from the database using is.get. Correct? Okay. Second time, doctor need the details about the same patient once again. Once again, he's going to check the second time. Second time, the details, the no SQL will be generated. No SQL. Only first time it is generated, right? So when first time generated, no SQL one, don't think no SQL database means I'm saying that no SQL will be generated. So first time only SQL generated, second time is no SQL. Third time he's going to get the same details of the participants, third time also no SQL. Only first time SQL will be generated. Next time when he's going to call get, it means what? He's going to pass class name and patient dot class, right? CLA class, and he's using the patient ID. So new PID, patient ID, assume 121, they like this. So if it is like this, right? So first time you'll find that SQL generated, right? But if you see the same thing you want to execute, Control C, second time, Control V. So when he is executing second time, there is no SQL. Same thing is going to execute, right? Then he is going to execute it on the third time. He's going to execute third time, right? So when he's going to execute third time, no SQL. Only first time SQL is generated, because second time and third time value is coming from the cache, first level cache session. It's coming like that, right? So let's see, is it like this, right? So this is the thing, right? Now another doctor came inside the same app. Doctor 2, second doctor came. Fine. So if second doctor came and second doctor also doing the same thing, second doctor, Control C, second doctor also doing the same thing. He is going to log in the application, and one session object created for him, that is, assume it is S1. Okay, so you're talking about session object, session cache. You're talking about session cache now. Fine. So Doctor app session cache. So it is using session cache, first session cache. This is the second session created for him. When second session created for him, so he'll also get the details from the database. Fine. So second doctor, he is going to select the details from the database, Control C and Control V. So here also the same thing. For second doctor also, if he is going to assume, he is going to get the patient details is this. And same patient details he is going to get from the database 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, because same patient have multiple details. So here also same thing, first time SQL will come. From the second time, the value will be available in the session cache, and doctor is going to get the details from the session cache. Correct? So this is how it will work, right? But right, this is how it will work, right? Okay. Now so right. So now the thing is that how we can implement it. So let's implement it lab. So let's understand this using a lab. First level cache. So let's understand using a lab how it will work. Whatever I'm talking about here. So because this two statement, not only two, multiple times, if he is going to get the same patient details, then that will come from the session cache. We want to see using a lab. This is also, we want to see that the first time doctor is going to, this is second session. This is second session, S1. Second session, second user, right? Second user, right? So for the second doctor, details is coming. First time SQL generated, but from the second time, you will not find any SQL. It will come from the session cache for the second user, right? So let's see how it is working using a lab, right? So so the same thing, actually we have to write it properly. Another thing is that this first level cache is the default cache. By default, it is enabled as we talked about last time. Right. Okay. So same things we have to write. So let's implement one lab for the employee example that we have done last day, right? So we try to implement this session first level cache for that employee example only. This employee examples we have done last day. What is that? 17 using annotation we have done last day, or 18? Which one we have done last day to talk about employee? Okay, query, named query, have done it here. Okay, so we'll try this employee, this example to talk about all this type of cache. Control C copy and implement it. Hibernate demo 19. Okay, so right click, paste, and just make it Hibernate demo 19. Cache. All this decision cache. Cache. I'll create separate project for 3 types of cache so that it will help. In first level cache. Okay, done. Okay. So this is my emp.java. I'm not going to use these things. A simple employee.java class, as we have already created last day, right? Employee.java, right? Okay. And this is my configuration file. Same like earlier, no change. Already have created last day, right? Okay. So in the client.java, I'm going to insert the details of employee. I'm going to insert to employee details. Okay. So it is working fine. Now we are talking about so first client, you're going to insert the employee details, right click, run as Java application, employee details inserted in the database. Okay, so employee details inserted in the database, both the employee details, Nikhil and Naveen. Assume they are both are patient, so both the patient details is there in the database. So what we have used here, create and drop. Okay, try to create update. If I create update it here, so both the patient details will available in the database. Unique constant. Okay, so the data are already there. Clear. So data is already there in the database. Fine. Let me check data is there in the database or not. What is the table name? Or EMP? EMP1 table name. Right. So connect system. Password is Oracle. Right. So select a star from EMP1. So you got the details. Now thing is that we should use the EMP name length properly so that it will be visible. EMP name. Okay, so we have to make it as length 15 so that it will be Control C properly visible. Control V length 15. So create, drop, save it, right click, run as Java application. So length 15, it should be available. Let me check. We should get the details from the table. Select star from EMP1. Yes, now it's looking good, right? Okay. Now, okay. Now we have to implement first level cache. Things are working fine. Good. Now we have to implement the first level cache. So the same things I'm doing once again. Assume so we have to get 2 sessions, right? So first one is session So if I'm going to use this one as the first session, Control C, Control V. So session is equal to sf.append session first session, and we'll get the details about the Control C employee in the first session. So if I'm going to get the details of the employee from the first session, then we can write here emp.class, emp.class, and here we have to use new integer. Tell me the integer employee ID. Nikhil, employee ID is 1234, right? So 1234. 1234. That's it. So first employee details is going to, or first patient details. Doctor is using the first patient details. So it will come like EMP E1, assume it is session 1, E1 equal to first session. So doctor got the first employee details. Fine. So when doctor got the first employee details, fine. So what he is doing, he is going to call the first employee details is to minimum 3 times. Minimum 3 times. Right. So second one also is going to call it, and third one also he is going to call it. Right. So first time he got the patient details, and he's going to print this object. System.out.println is going to print this object E1. Printed. Fine. Second time here he got the details, he's going to print this object. Fine. And that is E2. Assume okay, this is also E1. Okay, E1. Third time when is he going to get the same details, once again he's going to print this object. This object details will be printed 3 times. Correct? Correct. And after that he's going to close the session, s1 dot close. So first level session created, first level session closed, or first level session lost. That is done, right? Let me check, let me execute it. See. So this is my client already, and details are there in the database. Fine. So in the client one, I'm doing this session related details, right? Control V. Session is going to close. So this is the thing, right? So if since we are using session here, I'm using session 1. Fine. So disable this, and under session 1, I'm going to implement this transaction. Control X, Control V. So this is S1, first session. So I can say here, first session. So we're going to close it. Right, this is first session. Yes, we have opened and closed. Okay, and if you see here, I'm going to call, doctor is going to call the same patient details multiple times. Right, let me execute. Right click, run as Java application. So it is saying null. So it is not going to get the details on the database. It is not going to get the details on the database because here I have to make it create. When you make it create, the values is there, not there in the database. Right click, run as Java application. Value is there in the database. Now, yes, now we are going to implement the session. Now value is there in the database. Right click, run as Java application. So just see here, it is saying 1, 2, 3, 4 new integer emp.class. First EMP details you are going to call session1.get emp.class. So integer 1 2 3 4. So is there 1 2 3 4? 1 2 3 4 EMP ID. Yes, new integer 1 2 3 4 EMP ID, and it printed the object. It is null, it is saying. So it should not say it is null, because this is ID, right? EMP ID. This EMP ID we are using int type. This is EMP ID, int EMP ID, int, it's correct. So that is the EMP ID, it's correct. Okay, so let's execute once again. Value is there in the database. Check value is there in the database or not. Select start from EMP1. No rows. What happened? Rows should be there. Make it update. Save it. Execute this. Right click. Run as our application. Okay, inserted. Let me check. Value is there or not. Select start from EMP1. Yes, value is there. Value is there, right? Now we'll implement session. Right click, and now Java application. Okay, so just see here, please. See here, first time when doctor get the patient details, first details. Yes, he got it. Query executed. Right? First time query executed. Correct? Okay. But second time when he's going to call the get, second time, and he's going to get the same EMP ID, right? Right? So second time there is no query, only one. First time it's the second time the value is coming from the cache. Third time also he's going to print this object. This is the third object, right? So third time is going to print the object, but any query executed? No, query is coming. The details is coming from the cache. Why? Because the query executed only first time. This is the query that executed only first time. For second time for the same object, and the third time for the same object, no query executed for these two lines. Value came from the cache. Right? Value came from the cache. Right? For this first doctor. First session means first doctor. Fine? Okay. So what will happen for the second doctor? So what will happen for the second doctor? So assume for the second so this is what this I'm talking about. First doctor. First doctor got the details. Now I'm talking about second doctor. Second doctor, I want to mean that second user session. Okay. So when talking about second doctor, so for second doctor, or second doctor. So for second doctor, another session will be created. Assume S2. So S2 begin transaction. Fine. Now second doctor also going to get employee details EMP2 from S2. And assume he's searching the patient details. His ID is 4567. 4567. Okay, 4567. Correct. Okay. Now he got and he got the second patient details, and he has printed. Next, he is calling the second patient details second time, second doctor from the second session. This is S2, because second doctor means he has his separate login details, right? So automatically second session is created for him. He got the details and printed. Second doctor A2. and then third from second session, second doctor is going to call the employee details. This is second time he's calling, and this is third time he's calling. Control V E2. Then he's printing E2. Right? Okay, so this is the second doctor. Now for him another session is created, right? And then you're going to close the session. S2 transaction, as assume it is TAction2. You're going to connection to .commit, right? So let's see what will happen for the second doctor. Fine. Okay, control C copy, right? So here, let's come here. The second doctor. It is done for the first doctor. Now for the second doctor, control C, control V. So right click, source, format, save it. So for the second doctor, same things. Let's see. So what will happen? The query second session. So query should call first time. Second time it should come from the session cache. Right? Let me execute. Right click, run as Java application. Right. Just see here. For the second doctor, for the second session, query executed first time, and the next two times there is no query. It's going to get details from the session, first level cache. So the details is coming from this session or first level cache, right? So the same thing, right? Now you're saying only for two times. Now when sometimes it will happen is that one client is interacting with an application and there is 100 times he is going to get the same participant details or same record or same trend details, whatever it is. Same trend details you are searching, such 100 session. Same trend details is searched by 100 session, right? So it is also possible, right? Okay. So what we find here is that that this one that we are talking about, that we have implemented just now, right? So whoever is going to come, the doctor is going to come, the SQL will be fired only one time. Anytime, and the next time the doctor need the patient details, it will get from the session. Same time for the second doctor, he is going to get the details. First time it is coming from the database, SQL generated. For the next time, he's going to search the same details. It's coming from the session, right? So from these examples, we have done that how session cache is working. Right? Clear? Anyone? Yes, please. Anyone have any questions? You can tell me. How session cache or first level cache is working. Regarding that, if anyone have any queries, you can tell me. So this is how what is for first level cache. Then you talked about a case study. Then we have executed using labs, and you can see from here, from this output, that yes, how first level cache is working. Right? Okay. Okay. So let's move with this next one, second level cache. Right? Let's move with the next part, second level cache. Right? So let's talk about second level cache. So first level cache, whatever I should say, everything we talked about using lab. Okay. Save some points on second level cache. level cache. Okay. So related to second level cache, we have given some introduction last day. Let me see some introductory point. Second level cache is provided by provided by session factory. Session factory, right? It is provided by session factory. Okay. Now another point we talked about, that second level cache, it is by default disabled. By default it is disabled, it is not enabled. By default it is disabled, second level cache, right? Okay. Now number 3 point is that we can say like you can say it is okay, it is provided by multiple provider. We talked about, right? So second level cache, if I want to implement second level cache in Hibernate application, Hibernate project, or in the enterprise level application, second level cache if I want to implement for our enterprise level application, then we can say that it is provided by multiple provider. Provided by multiple provider. Provided by multiple provider, like tell me, you talked about last day, cache, cache. Then we have JBoss cache, cache. Then we have OS cache, right? Then we have Swarm cache, So these are multiple provider, and see any one of the provider I have to use to implement the second level cache. Okay. So what is this provider from? Where you'll get some details about them. See, when you have downloaded the Hibernate jar, this final Hibernate release 5.2.0.final, if you go inside leave folder, you'll find here optional one of the folder. If you see here cache, so related to cache, whatever jar you need, everything is already available inside this folder. Okay, right? Okay, this is different, right? So it is already there here, right? For cache. Now if you need, no, I want to implement some other cache like JBoss cache or Waste cache, Swarm cache, then you have to download from a net, from a specific site, the related jar. So these are the cache provider. If I want to implement any one of the cache provider, related jar I have to add or attach. But for each cache, corresponding jar is already provided inside that Hibernate final, right? Okay. So these are some of the points that you talked about, and in this, if I want to implement any one of the cache, then corresponding provider jar I have to connect to the project, right? Okay. So now we have to understand right. So we have to understand how this second level cache is working with an example, right? With a case study, same case study we will take. How the session level cache is working. Session cache, what is this? What you find in the session cache? Both the doctor in their individual session get the data from session, and they don't have to do the database round trip second time, right? So the thing is that how the session level cache is working. Let's take the case study. Yes. Case study, that is if you have used this case study doctor app, just any name only. Okay, Now we have to understand that how this session level second level cache is working, right? Okay. So let's take this example. Just now we have done. So let's take this example. Just now I have done, right? So now you're talking about session factory level or second level cache. So second level cache, right? Okay. So first doctor came. Once again, doctor 1, he came in the application. So one session created for him. So now we talked about session factory level second level cache is implemented by session factory object, correct? So it is implemented by session factory object, right? Session factory object. It is implemented by session factory. Okay. Now the session factory object already we have created. If you remember, the session factory object already have created first time. So session factory, we are creating SF equal to cfg dot build session factory, right? Session factory SF equal to cfg dot build session factory, right? Okay, already have created. Now when this when the doctor first time came, so what him under session created? Session S equal to S, that is first session SF dot open session, right? So open session, right? So for this doctor session created and he got the patient details from database, right? He got the patient details from the database, got it, right? So when he's going to get the patient details from the database, the same things he is going as one dot get method. I'm writing full. I'm not writing full. So SQL generated. Again, he is going to get the same patient details as one dot get. SQL generated. No. Again, he is going to get the same patient details as one dot get. SQL generated. No, because by default session cache is working. By default session cache is working because you cannot disable session cache. By default session cache is working. So second time you'll find the details, same details is coming from session cache only. Fine. And now we are talking about second cache, second level cache. Now our topic is second level cache or session factory cache, how it is working. That is our topic, right? Right. Okay. So as it is for the first doctor, and whatever details he need, he will get all the doctor, all the details of the patient from the application. Fine, it's working fine, no issues. Next come the second doctor. Now second doctor, control C, second doctor came. Now second doctor also do the same thing. Okay. Now when second doctor came, now for second doctor, second section created S2. Right, and he is also using s2 dot get, right? Now for the second doctor, what will happen? The SQL will be generated? No. For second doctor, if the second doctor is going to get the same patient details, then this SQL query will not be generated. Why? Because in the second level cache, this one is details is available in the session factory object. So the second doctor, that is doctor 2, he is going to fire the same SQL query. The details it will not collect from the database. It will collect from the second level cache session factory. right? Again the third doctor came. Again third doctor came. Again third doctor came. Doctor 3. Okay. Third doctor came, doctor 3. Now for him also session object created, session 3. Fine. Here also is going to get session 3, session 3, session 3, right? Now what happened is that the third doctor is also going to get the same patient details. But same patient details already available in the session factory. That is your second level cache. So when third doctor get the details, so those details is also not come from database. It will come from cache. So okay, this is right. This will come from cache. If you write it here, this is coming from session cache. Here the details will come. Here the details will come from first level cache. Here the details will come from first level cache. But here it is not coming from first level cache because it is coming from the session factory cache or second level cache. Second level cache. Here the details is coming from the second level cache. Second level cache. Here also the details will come from second level cache. Second, who is second level cache? Session factory. And unfortunately, the third doctor is also going to get the same patient details. So same patient details already cached in this session factory object. So he'll get the details from second level cache. Second level cache. Second level cache. Right? So for all this, there is no database round trip. Only for first time database round trip. For all of them, there is no database round trip. Everything will come for this second doctor and third doctor. Details are coming from the second level cache. Right? So this is said to be as a second level cache. So now here lots of advantages there. What is the advantage? If the same patient details is being used by 100 doctors, 1000 doctors, 100 customer, 1000 customer, 1 lakh customers. So there is no 1 lakh times database hit because details is coming from the second level cache. So it will reduce database hit. It will reduce database hit, right? And its effect is much more for an enterprise level application, right? So we are using 2 or 3 rows, but enterprise level application, it's an it will reduce a huge database hit and increase performance, right? Okay, so this is how the second level cache work using this case study. Okay, now so we can write here for second level cache like both the doctor will share the same data available inside session factory. Both the doctor will share the same data available inside session factory. Right? Cache. And they don't have to do database round trip in the second type. They don't have to do database round trip second time. So select query will fire only one time if multiple user interact with it, right? So select query will where only, right, one time if multiple users interact with it, multiple user interact with it, that's it. But what if I write the same thing for your first level cache, right? If you write the same thing for the first level cache, then what you can write here for first level cache, right? So both the doctor in the individual session get the data from session, right? Both the doctor in the individual session, their individual session get the data from session, get the data from session, right? And they don't have to do the database round trip second type, right? They don't have to do the database round trip second time, right? Okay, done. Now what you have to do is that second level cache, how we can implement it, right? So lab part. So let's implement the lab part of second level cache, right? So if you want to implement the lab part for second level cache, so how we can implement? So just now I told you that for second level cache is not by default enabled, it is the disabled. So since it is not by default enabled, so it is disabled. So we have to make it enabled, second level cache, first point. Second point is that we need any one of the provider. Okay. We need any one of the provider who will help us to implement second level cache, right? Okay, so in our example, as I talk about EH cache, so it is by default it is coming, the jars is already by default coming with our Hibernate downloaded jar. So we're going to use EH cache only, right? We're going to use EH cache and we'll see how it is working, right? Okay. So if I want to implement second level cache, what should be the steps, right? So first step is we have to actually as I told you that we need to add we need to add provider, right? So we are going to use EH, we are going to use EH cache, so we have to need the provider, EH cache provider. So what is the name of the EH cache provider? So last I'll show you this slide. What is the name of the EH cache provider? See here. I'm writing it too much just so that it should be clear for everyone. That's why I'm just writing more. Now here, who is the provider for second level cache? EH cache. So for EH cache, you are going to use the provider org.hibernate.cache.eh cache provider, right? Okay. So if I'm going to implement that, so what we have to use is that we have to use some of the property name. So here what you have to do is add one of the property name equal to, you'll find some factory underscore class, something is there. if you write here, okay, factory underscore class is available inside a package. See, factory underscore class is available inside which package? Not this. Okay. Okay. So what happened is that we have to add one jar. Okay. So what I'll write here is that first step is, and this step 2, make it a step 2. Step 2, make it a step 1 is that to add each cache jar. Add each cache jar. You have to add this jar, otherwise this path will not come. So select your first you have to add each cache jar. Then we have to use some path for factory underscore class. I think that's what is the actual path. In this path you have to check, and this will contain the path of each cache region factory. So we have some path. Talk about it. Some each cache region factory. Region factory. This is the value for this factory class. You're going to use this factory class property. Okay. So this is one thing. Another things we have to. This is one thing we have to do it. Second thing is that I'll check this. The actual. And this is a package path actually. This is a package path. I have to check that package path. So okay. Now number 3. S3 third point is that you have to use this option called that you have to enable session second level cache true for this application, right? So if I enable the session level cache as true, then what I'll write? Some properties there. Property. Some name is the name equal to. Name is there here. Second underscore level underscore cache. Some property is there. This property value is true. Right? Slash. So we have to add some property as true. The second level cache property is true. So we have added the jar. This is there, right? And we have to add another step 4. Step 4 is add cache.xml file. One of the XML file I have to add that has some property. We'll talk about it. I've already downloaded that file. Cache.xml. Okay. Okay. And next is step 5. Step 5. You have to add 2 annotation in your class that is registered class, like @cacheable, This is one of the annotation is there. Another one annotation is there @cache. Properties there in between. Okay. These 2 annotations you have to enable. See, I'm talking about the example based on Hibernate 5.2 version. If I'm going to use different version, this implementation will be slightly different. Based on Hibernate 5.2 version, how I'm going to use second level cache. I'm talking based on that, right? So these are some of the steps that we have to implement in our project. Okay. Then we can see how session level cache is working, right? So let's implement using a project. Okay. So open our project. So for the second level cache, I'm going to create another project. Hibernate demo 20 second level cache. So copy this Right click, paste. Now I can write here Hibernate demo 20. Second level cache. Second level cache. Okay. This one you're talking about, right? Okay. So let's do step by step. First, you have to add the EH cache jar. Okay, so select your project, right click, properties, add Java build path, add EH cache.jar where it is available inside the leaf folder. Leaf folder optional EH cache, add all the jar that is available. Okay. Okay. Fine. First step is done. Okay. Second step is that we need to add this provider. So now I can get factory underscore class path from here. Open this class. Now you're talking about second level cache, so not require these things. Right here, factory underscore class, factory underscore class. I don't know the path. We get the path. So it should be available hibernate.cache.region. It's not coming. Okay. Okay. Import hibernate dot okay. Okay, so what I have to do here is that so in the second step we have to add this property as an EH cache region factory. So what we can do is that we can see that EH cache region factory, it's API documentation. From there you can get it. Control V, EH cache region factory. So I'm just opening that documentation and open that frame view. So from here you can get that package name EH cache region factory, EH cache region factory. org.hibernate.cache. See here org.hibernate.cache.eh cache. Here it is there. This EH cache region factory, right? So this EH cache region factory. This is this EH cache region factory, and here I'm talking about this factory class. So here we should have one path. Fine. So this EH cache, we can get the path for it, right? This is the path. So we got it, right? Okay. So this path we need here in our current example. So this is the path that we need. Control V. org.hibernate cache.eh cache.eh cache region factory, right? So this property we should add inside the configuration file, this property. So Control C and open this configuration file. Here you have to add this property Control V, right? Okay. org.hibernate cache region factory. This is the property. So there is one factory class. To check this name. What is the path of this factory class? Factory underscore class. You can get in, check in the API doc. You may get it from here. Factory underscore class. It should come. Factory underscore class. See here, this is the path. Factory underscore class. So this factory underscore class has a particular path. This is the path hibernate.cache. Hibernate cache.region. Hibernate cache.region. Factory underscore class. This is the path. So I can write here hibernate dot cache dot region dot factory underscore class, right? This is the full property that we should use. Control C here. Control V. Right, done. Okay. Save it. Right. Okay. So this is done. The next step is that you have to use this second level cache property carry true. So what is the name of the second level cache property? So there is one property name, right? Property. It should come by default. Property name equal to lots of properties there. Should come by default. Okay. Is cache dot use underscore second underscore level underscore cache. So this is the property for second level cache, right? Okay. So this property you have to make it true, right? So that's it. Done. Done, right? Now we have to add another cache, ehcache.xml that I already have downloaded from the API. ehcache.xml. If you extract the jar, you may get this one, ehcache.xml. So this already have copied from some other location. Where is ehcache.jar or XML? ehcache.xml. Okay, copy this. So I'm just copying this ehcache.xml. Right click, paste. So this is the edge case that you have to write it manually, or I'll share it with everyone. If you see this this file ehcache.xml that is provided by the vendor itself, if you see this, what it is saying is that you're going to use ehcache for a particular class. So in our case, we are going to create the ehcache for a particular class. Its name is EMP, right? And it has some basic persistence concept called local temp swap, and maximum entry local heap is 100, internal false, time to till second is 120, time to live second is 200. So these are some of the attributes of cache, and we are going to implement each cache. So we have to provide for which object I want to implement cache, right? So if you have multiple, so you can control multiple object like this. For multiple object, I will this, right? Okay, so that is ehcache.xml, right? So that you can implement in your application. So this is the thing that you have to provide ehcache.xml file, right? Okay. Next, the last fifth property is that we have to use one annotation. Since you are using annotation implementation, this example. So this annotation, cacheable annotations, we should use for this class MP. Okay, so you should use this @ cacheable, CACHE ABLE, I think cacheable. Okay, so we should use this @ cacheable annotation. Okay, right, so it is done. Okay, so now what I will do is that to implement second level cache, again that examples of doctor you have to implement. That means this one. Where is the code? You write it code once again. So this first doctor came. If you see here, first doctor came, then second doctor came. I'm not going to write. I'm going to copy paste. Once again, same code. I'm not. Second, for second level cache also you want to fire this, right? Right. So first doctor came. He's going to get one patient details. He got it. SQL query fired, and the details is stored second level cache. If second level cache is enabled, right? Second time he is going to get the from the session object itself, because by default session is enabled. But for the second user, is also going to get the same. Assume is going to get the same details. Assume is going to get the same details. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same details. Control C. For the same details for the second doctor, he's going to call the same records also. Then also no SQL query will be generated, because first time it is coming from the and it is already stored inside the second level cache. Since second level cache is enabled, after no SQL is generated, value will come from the second level cache, right? So this is the thing, right? So let's see it is working or not. Just copy this code and paste it in your client. One last time we have done. No, this is a separate project. From the separate project, just paste, right click, source, format. So this is the first. So first doctor. So cfg.build session The first doctor session object created, right? You're going to first doctor is done. Okay. Next for session object created, right? Now, when you implemented session object for the first doctor, but there is no transaction. Transaction should be there, right? Control C. Control V. Other transaction. Transaction. Or close the transaction. exn1 dot commit. Fine. So this is the first user. We should have transaction 2. For second user, I'm going to get the same details. Fine. So for second user, you should close transaction, then close the session. S2 dot close. Done. Done. So that is done for 2. Now in this example, this session would work. And for to implement session factory cache, to implement session factory cache, we have used this configuration file. Here it is true, and we have used class, so it should work. Cache. Are there any other things that we have to do for session factory cache? Things are done. Now how this cache it should work by default, or you have to import it separately? This cache, I think it should work. Let me check. Not fine. So right click, run as Java application. Where this should not, a second level cache, session factory cache, EH cache we are using. This line should not come, right? Is not okay. So you have to see the steps. So if you see these steps, we have added the jar. This property is also added. Cache.xml is also added. Okay, we have to use another one annotation. The entity class level emp cacheable. Another one annotation is there. It is cache @ cache usage. Cache concurrency. Cache concurrency strategy dot read only. Region class that you are for your class. Region is nothing but table emp or emp table is one. Okay, emp. Let's say cache to import. Done. So each cache, I think I have to import it from somewhere. I should import, right? We are not importing anywhere. So here I have to import this XML file. We should import. How? Same like earlier. Mapping. Resource equal to. Tell me pp dot p slash eh dot. That's it. It's imported. Right click, run as Java application. It should work. Yes, it is working fine. Just see here. Please find our is working fine. Second level cache is working fine. How we got it? Because this is the first user, first session. In the first session, data first database, and from the second time it came from session cache. Fine, working. Second user when he came, and he's going to get the same actor details, same patient details. He's going to get the same patient details. Then for the second user, no SQL query is yet. Values is factory cache. That's it. Right? So it's working second level cache. Anyone, any queries, please? Okay. So that is for second level cache. Query not yet generated, right? So the value is coming from the cache. Query not yet generated, right? So the second level cache is also working fine, and we have done for second level cache steps that right for each cache for Hibernate. So these things will change based on the different slide you may find. So if you do this these steps, then you can implement cache for Hibernate 5.x, right? So it is completed. Okay. Next, we'll talk about query cache. Third one we'll talk cache. Same like this. Cache. We'll use one cache study. Then we'll implement for query. These things we used a lot. Let's talk about query cache. Query. Right. So if I want to say some points about query cache, we talked about last day some points. So first point you want to say about query cache, like so query cache generally will implement for one instance or one program. So query cache is nothing but result against a particular object. It is the result of query object. It's a result of query object, right? So this query cache is by default disabled. It is default disabled. Now the query cache means what? The same query I'm using multiple times. So what will happen there is a database round trip. So what we'll do is that if those details, if I can save in the cache, then I don't have to do the right. That is only query cache, right? Same query if I'm going to execute, if I'm executing multiple times. So without, if I don't want database hit, so avoid database it, I am going to implement this query cache in my application. So it will be much more faster, right? Okay. So if I do this query cache, then what I have to do? We have one property, same like this property. Here we have used one property, right? For the second level cache. Where is the property? This is the property. Property is for second level. We talked about query cache. It will be cache dot use underscore query cache dot use underscore query underscore cache. So this property get true. That's it. The cache, you have to use this property as a true, then this query cache will work fine. Okay. Okay. So right. So let's see how we can this query cache. You can add another one point here, like if we execute same query multiple times, execute same query multiple times, we use, that's it. Right now, how we are going to query cache? So same times means what? Select star from table name, or select department name from table name, right? And query times. So right, so we can take any. So if query cache is enabled, then first time you find the SQL query, but second time, third time it will not be there. So how will I implement it? Right. So you can write the steps, lab steps. First step, I'm writing all the things from can implement in their system. A very small example, if it is clear, automatically enterprise level application query cache also be clear, right? Okay. First about is in this configuration file, hibernate.cfg.xml. Inside this configuration file, we have to enable one property as property name. To tell me what is the name of the property? Cache dot use underscore query cache. This one true. Yes. This is will be true, right? Okay. Next step 2. Write that queries. If I'm going to use HQL, query queue equal to session dot. So it will be used only for one session. Okay, you can get for one program or one. So session dot create query as your HQL is select EMP name. Select EMP name from emp is a Java class, right? Let's check your Java class. emp name. Okay, so I can write here, select emp name from emp Java instance Java class. This is an HQL that I'm going to fire. Okay. So what I'll do, right here, q dot list, right? Q dot list. Automatically everything will come inside list. Stop string. Why? Because you're employee name, right? So list equal to q dot list. Now from this retrieve the details. So how can use for string name colon list, it will move inside list and print all the details. System dot println and print the name. That's it. Right. Right. It came. So nothing is that this executed first time. First time value should come from database. Now I want to execute this query second time. Okay. So second time in the same session, but same query. Then third time I want to execute. So if query cache is enabled, if query cache is enabled, right? If query cache is enabled, then we should not have 3 times database call. We should have only 1 time database call. Correct. Correct. So that we have to see. If query cache is enabled, we should not have 3 times database call. We should have only 1 time. Okay, let's see. So let's implement this. This property we have to add. Control C, and this property should be available here. Right click, close all here. Control V. Query cache equal to true. Right? Okay. So that we have made it as true. And second point is and this query here. So we copied this query, so we have to fire this query where main class, Control C. So for query case, we are not getting project. We should get a separate project. That is better, because next do one thing, get a separate project. Everyone can distinguish and implement in their system. Copy, paste. Query cache. Okay. Now it is 21. Right click, refactor, rename. It will be question number 21. So first point is that we have implemented this property. Cache use underscore query QUERY and cache dot use underscore query underscore use underscore query underscore cache true. Done. Property. Second property is to implement query cache. What we have to do is that class when I'm going to I'm not writing once again. First doctors, no, this you have to write. Delete. This is the copy and paste. Control V. Show you not created session equal to sf dot fine. So this is query warg.hibernate.query. Use it. Second time, let's see, this is q1 dot list one, moving inside this list and printing out. This is q2 and it will come list 2, move and printing all, right? Okay, fine, it came, right? So after that, what I'm going to do, the details, right? Session dot close, and you have to complete the transaction. No, so you have to start on transaction. Transaction txn equal dot begin transaction, and here transaction done, right? Okay, clear. So if you see this example, we have called this query 3 times. Select EMP name from EMP. Okay. Now here we have to let me check it is working or not. Right click, run as Java application. Given some error, let me check what is the error. No element. Listener is expected. Okay. So for query, I think one attribute here. Name is set cache. Okay. When you're using this, you have to use an attribute q dot set cacheable true. You see, you have to write for this query cache. We can see the output. Control V, Q1 row, and Q2 dot set cacheable true. Right click, run as Java application. Check is there any other some the property element here. property name cache equal to true control X control V. I think it should work now. Right click, run as. Yes, it's working fine, right? If you see here in this example, I'm firing 3 SQL query. That means executed. See here, 3 query you have executed. So when you have executed this 3 query, then first time there is a database call, database hit. That's why. But from second time and third time there is no database hit. That's why both these two, there is no database hit from here. There is no database, right? There is no database hit from here, right? So this is what